Hey guys, it's Anne, and I'm sorry about the glasses. I have a headache today, but I think I figured out what does it. I think it's the way I'm sleeping on my neck. So interesting. But anyway, today we have a video from Julie from Mimi's Pantry, also Julie, keeper of my home. She's got 2 YouTube channels, and do you remember when she showed us her pantry last month? Well, this month she is showing us her wonderful primitive living room. So you guys are in for a real treat. She videoed the whole thing, and I just know you guys are going to really enjoy it. Hi, Anne. I want to welcome you and all of your viewers into my living room or keeping room. So let's take a look around. So this is the big picture of the living room. It's not a really huge room. Not sure the measurements, but it's perfect for us. And you can see our ceiling. Love that ceiling. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at some of the other areas here. This is a shelf up over our little table next to the chair, and you can see the sign that I made that says keeping room. And on the shelf I have a lot of pewter. There's a little Easter bunny. It's a candy mold. I love that. It's just an eBay find. And a lot of this pewter was just stuff that I got in an auction. I had gotten a big box full for $5. Couldn't believe that. This little candle, that was a thrift store find. And the candle mold was a gift from a friend. And I have some books here. And this is the little box with a little stitchery on it. Isn't that sweet? That was also a thrift store find. I thought that was so cute. And it's just a little box, looks like a paper mache box maybe that somebody had put a little stitchery on. It's really cute. So that's what's on that shelf. And the shelf itself was at a yard sale. $2 find. Loved it. I knew the minute I saw it where I was going to put it. Okay, and then we go down here, and this is just a little table that sits next to the recliner. There's a picture of my husband, his dad, and that's an older picture of my husband's mom. And the book that I'm reading. And underneath we just keep a basket with some games and things for the kids. And this firkin has little dolls and things in it for the girls when they come over to play. Because you got to keep those grandkids happy. Okay, now in this corner we have a basket, and I just fill it with quilts. This is our fireplace. It's a big fireplace, big mantle. Love it. It's 12 feet long, 16 inches deep, and 5 feet high. And behind this door is where we keep our TV. I don't like for those things to show, so I just kind of stuff it in there. And below the fireplace we have some cast iron pots, and this is an old camp kettle thing. I'm not sure the technical term, the actual term, that I don't know what you call it, but it's huge. It's very, very big, because these pots are, well, this big one here, this is really, really huge. It's one that we use, like, you could use it on an open fire. I mean, it's way too big to use on stovetop, so that kind of gives you an idea of how big that is. And sorry about the shadow here. And this is a basket full of some wool, which I see has been stuffed down to the bottom. It's alpaca wool, and our girls play with those things. They like to play in that stuff. I like to make things so that they're accessible to the kids. This is an old rocking chair that we bought. It's solid oak. We bought it at an antique, I think it was like an auction type place. And this bear belonged to our youngest son when he was growing up. And the doll is something that I made for one of my nieces, who's now 18 or 19 years old. So I made that for her when she was very small. And you can see, where we keep some wood in there. And this is our little bread oven. I've got a cast iron pot, big kettle in there. And then up here we have the mantle, and it is all decorated for spring. I did recently do this. My husband helped me, and we dug everything out. You can see I've got just a mishmash of things on here. I just threw out whatever was spring and summer. There's this crate here is sitting on its side. It's actually what I use to carry strawberries. When I'm picking strawberries, it holds like I don't know how many quart-sized boxes of strawberries, and it just makes it a lot easier to lug those around. And these are some little carrots, and I made these. They're made out of muslin fabric, and the ends of them are Sweet Annie. Don't they look real? Those are so cool. I love those. And then just, like I said, some terracotta pots. Love terracotta pots. I love them in my garden. I love them to decorate with. They're just so neat. And a little cast iron butterfly. And a birdhouse. I'm not sure where I got this. I have had it for years and years. The same with this birdhouse. I've had it for a lot of years. And I've just added some greenery, tucked it in here and there. And a little jar with some moss and some eggs. Now these eggs are just wooden eggs. I painted them, and then I just kind of took a toothbrush and sprinkled them with, spattered them with a little bit of paint. Can you see they're a little bit spattered? They just look so real. I love that. And then we have a little box that I actually won online, something I entered, and the lady sent me this box, and it's really cute. So I just put a box, two boxes. One is a heart and the other is a cross, and a candle in there, and not sure what the writing and stuff is in there. It's just a piece of paper that was in there when I got it. And we have this sign: the best place to seek God is in a garden. It used to be out in my garden, but it kept falling down where I had it, so I thought I'm just going to bring it in. And I love it sitting here. Up above I have a green wreath. Green is my favorite color, and now I know why. It's because I get so tired of winter, and to see green is just a beautiful thing. And this was a gift from my father-in-law to my husband and I. It's the Last Supper. I love this. It's a big heavy stone piece, and a wooden bowl with some greenery and a candle. And my candles are all battery operated, and they're all on timers. So, and then we have this candle holder here with another candle above. And this is a terracotta bunny. And it's actually a planter. You can actually use it in the garden, and I think at one time I did, but I was so worried that he would split and crack and break in the winter, so I brought him in. And then I have this bird bath, which I love, and I bought this years and years ago. I bet probably 20 years ago. And some more terracotta plants or pots and some greenery. And the greenery is just something that I had bought online. And let's see, this is an old crate. And inside the old crate is a punch needle that I did. This actually won first place at our fair a couple of summers ago. And this is a little cast iron bunny, and he's on wheels. He was a find on eBay. And more carrots. And there's a watering can. It's like an enamelware. And that's filled with some pussy willows and carrots. And an old railroad lantern. And this is a sap bucket. We use that to tap trees in the spring. make maple syrup, and my son had a lot of them, so I kind of borrowed one to decorate our mantle, and it's got some flowers in it, and I think they call that forsythia. It's artificial, and some sticks. So that is the mantle. And see our lighting here. All of our lighting is all reproduction everywhere in the house. There's nothing modern. And an old trunk. This trunk is, gosh, it's working its way up to 100 years old. It was my aunt's. She'd given that to me when she was moving to her apartment from her house, and she was downsizing. So I happily took it into our home. I love it, and it's actually filled with dress-up clothes. For those of you who remember Mr. Dress-Up on TV, he used to have a tickle trunk and filled it with all kinds of things that you could dress up in. So that is what our grandchildren love playing in. It's all kinds of dress-up dresses and different things in there, jewelry and shoes and things, so they enjoy that. The rug, something that I bought, it was a Facebook find. It just fit perfectly in here. The colors are perfect. This cabinet, I made this quite a few years ago just for this house. I knew that I wanted this cabinet here, and I'm not one to build a lot of stuff, but if there's something that I want or need, I will try to figure out how to do it myself. So I did make this and painted it and distressed it, and above it I've got a little sheep. You can't tell, I don't think I can get up there, but he's on wheels. That was made by a friend. And then you have different pictures here. They're just family photos and things. This is my, let me see, can you see me? This is my husband's father and his grandfather. My husband's dad and grandfather were both potato farmers. So that's a really old picture. And just some family photos. And then we come down here. My aunt once told me when I was making quilts that she said, you've not really made a quilt until you've made one by hand. So I thought, well, I should try my hand at that. So I did. But that's as big as it got, because that's a lot of work. So that was completely hand stitched. That was a lot of work. A lot of work, but I love it. Okay, so then this is an oil lantern. My husband and I love oil lamps. So we have a few of those. And these are all Judy Condon books. If you've never looked at one of her books, they're really great. Especially, you know, if you love decorating and design, she has all kinds of houses. She just features different people's homes in her books, and they're just wonderful to go through. As a matter of fact, this one right here, A Country Christmas, our home is featured in this about 3 or 4 years ago, I think. This can be found on Amazon if you want to look it up. And then down below here, there's a little door, and behind that door are children's books and a few more little toys and things that we keep tucked away, because it's important to find a lot of places to tuck away those grandkid toys. So that's it. That's the grand tour of the living room part anyway. Thank you, Anne, for this wonderful opportunity, and maybe I'll see you again. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and be hopeful, because we all need a little hope right now. Take care.